So you arrive for your interview and your interviewer asks you, walk me through your CV. How are you going to respond? Today, that is a question that we will unpack in the show. A successful interview is definitely by design. Winging it will not get you the job or the opportunity that you desire. Don't go away. We'll be right back and we'll show you how to answer that question. Welcome. If you just joined us, you are listening to Get Hired. If you missed the very first episode of Get Hired, we shared some amazing tips and tricks for you to have a successful interview when it comes to the techie stuff. So one of the quick tips that I want to share with you again is hold your phone in landscape mode, not in portrait mode, and that'll get rid of the black lines on the side and it'll make for much, much better communication. If you've missed that first episode, go back. We talked to everything about having good sound. A lapel microphone can go a very long way. Make sure that you've got some earbuds of any kind. Get your favorite earbuds. That'll avoid sound feedback. Lots of good information in that very, very first episode. So please go back and watch that. But today we're going to be talking about how you will respond to the interview question when they say to you, walk me through your CV. If you haven't met me before, my name is Bridgetti Lim Banda from Cape Town in South Africa. So welcome if you're watching us over on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, on LinkedIn, Amazon Live. A warm welcome to you. My amazing co-host for today is Aletta. Aletta Rochat is a certified world-class speaking coach, an interview coach, and a distinguished Toastmaster author. And she's also the founder of Voicing Your Potential. Aletta is trained and spoken in more than 22 countries and has a proven system to help you get hired. So let me welcome her to join me and let's talk about how you're going to answer the interview question, walk me through your CV and what you should avoid. Aletta, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bridgetti. This is such an important question, and you can almost bet your bottom dollar that you will be asked this question. The reason for that is that many interviewers use this as a warm-up question. Just right off the bat, tell me a little bit about yourself or walk me through your CV. And the sort of temptation is to literally walk them through your CV and say, well, from this date to this date, I worked at this company in this position, and then you literally read it out. That's not what they want. They want a sense of you, a sense of your personality. So kind of helicopter out of the resume and start focusing on what you want them to know about you.
That's quite an interesting thing because, I think why do you need to be careful, though, about what you say? I mean, is it possible to make a mistake, to highlight the wrong stuff on your CV. So my question is always, I often get people sending me their bio, and people have this idea that it's one size fits all. Is that how it works?
I think if you are serious about interviewing well, the version of yourself that you present with Walk Me Through Your CV is one that's related directly to the job description for the role you're interviewing for. So have a look at that. Look at the key things that they are looking for this role, and then see what you can bring out or highlight or spotlight in your own CV that relates directly to that role, because then they're going to pay attention. But if you start telling them stuff that is not related to the role, the biggest danger is that you talk on items or areas that are not of interest to them, and they lose interest right up front, right at the beginning of the interview. That's, of course, the worst mistake you can make. So think about it. What are they looking for? What do they need in that role? And what can you highlight that relates back to that?
So really, what you're saying is that there's a direct link between your CV and the job description. So if there's a disconnect, your interviewer is going to tune out and possibly think that you're not well prepared. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And, I've read a statistic the other day. I can't remember the exact percentages, but the interviewer usually makes up their mind within the first few minutes of an interview. That's when they decide whether or not there's connection. That's when they get a sense of you. So it's important to really start strongly and start with your personality coming through and linking who you are to what they're looking for. And that immediately places you in a good position for them to engage with you and to stay interested for the duration of the interview.
How important is it to have specific examples of your achievements that relates to the job that you're looking for?
Bridgetti, you've raised such an important issue. I think it's vital. Think about it. If you're the recruiter and you're interviewing 5 different people, all of them have similar skill sets, similar experiences. Their CVs are all so good that any one of them could potentially do the job. But they're looking for someone who stands out from the rest. So you've got to do something that takes you above what everybody else is doing. And thorough interview preparation is one of them. And my suggestion with this question is to practice it out loud ahead of time. If someone says to you, walk me through your CV, practice that. Do a couple of different versions. Maybe ask a friend or a colleague to give you feedback so that you can get a sense of what you can say and how you can say it, and which version of that gets the best response from whoever you're practicing with.
And I would assume that the same would go for your skills. So I imagine one has to do a substantial amount of homework to make sure that your skill set really matches that of the employer. Would that be correct?
I think so. And I think it's more than just a skill set. For instance, if you're a project manager and you're going for an interview, if you just say, well, I'm a project manager with 10 years experience, that's fine. They could have seen that for themselves on your CV. But if you say, I'm a project manager and my strong point is being able to keep an eye on the bigger picture so that if anything goes wrong, we flag it early to make sure that we deliver on time and within budget. That's so much more compelling to listen to, because you've taken that project management description and you've added something to it that is of value to the company. So having that appreciation of putting it into context, of telling them how you work, of telling them how you solve problems, that immediately will make you stand out. But you can't do that very easily in the moment. It's much better to do it ahead of time, rehearse it, and be comfortable with that, knowing what your strengths are and understanding the impact of those strengths on a project or a department or a company.
I can well imagine. I mean, and these days, jobs are not that easy to come by because there's hundreds of people applying for the same position. And so you really have to position yourself in such a manner that you are that one person that catches their attention. And I think, as I said at the when we started the show, something like that has to happen by design. You can't just, go in there and hope for the best. If you haven't
Yeah.
practiced, and that's why I keep saying that's the value of coaching.
Yes.
Unless you've practiced and gone through all the different scenarios that could come up, you may not get that position because you're not prepared for all those different things, and you could get caught on the back foot. Maybe if you could just for a minute explain to us, what it is you do with coaching, so that people
Yes.
understand what value it is that they can get out of that if they are in the job market.
Thank you. What we do with our interview coaching is we help our clients and students be very intentional about their interview preparation. As you said right at the intro, hope is not an interview strategy, and neither is winging it. And your future is way too important to leave it to chance. And the one part of the interview process that you have 100% control over is your interview prep. So we help you develop the recruiter mindset so that you understand what they are looking for. We help you uncover your strengths so that you can not only know your strengths, but articulate them and describe the impact they can have on a project, a team, a company. Because then if you can do that, you're presenting yourself as a solution to a problem. We give you templates and structures for interview answers. So in other words, we've done all the thinking. We've taken the guesswork out of it, and we've proven the system over and over again. So we save you time and we empower you so that by the time you've gone through our course, you are ready and you are confident and you've practiced your answers ahead of time. And even just doing that is going to put you way above most other candidates.
Awesome. So just to do a quick recap, if somebody says to you, walk me through your CV, I think there were 3 points that we hit. And the first one was knowing what the link is between your CV and the job description and being very clear about that. And then I think the next point was having examples of your achievements, and then
Yeah.
also highlighting the skills as they pertain to that specific job application. And I think that kind of rounds up our show for today. Did you have a final comment before we say goodbye to the audience?
I think, Bridgetti, it's just that your job during an interview is to bring your CV to life, and walking them through your CV in a purposeful, intentional way does exactly that. Practice it, perfect it, and then go in confidently and tell them who you are and how you can add value.
Fantastic. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. If you joined us live or you're catching this on the replay, if you missed the introduction, we were talking about how you would answer the interview question, walk me through your CV, and we left you with 3 points of how you can do that successfully. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you back on the next episode of Get Hired, where we leave you with tips and strategies so you don't have to do any guesswork or leave it to winging it, because that won't get you hired. Take care, everyone. We'll see you back on the next episode.